Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. So with that said, if you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. If you are new to my channel, thank you for being here. Please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. Before we start, I'd like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, like peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So before we get into it, your key to the week is the Death card, right? And bear with me, because I know a lot of you are probably thinking like, oh my gosh, like, is there anything else? And it's really not that. Remember, at the end of this week, we have that powerful super moon that is going to be in your sign, that powerful super full moon, which is going to be in your sign. So this is a Libra full moon. This is putting a spotlight on you, whether you are a sun, moon or ascendant in some way, shape or form. Your life and you are being highlighted. You're being brought out into the light in some way, shape or form. Now, the fact that you've got the Death card as the overarching energy and theme or key to the week, this really feels for me like an echo of that, because, you know, and I always say that a full moon is kind of like, it's like the end of a pregnancy, right? So it's like the end of the pregnancy, but it's the beginning of the life for the child. So yes, it's a death, it's a completion, it's a culmination of sorts, but it's a new beginning. And that's why I kind of feel like the Death card has come up for you guys over the course of this week. So awesome stuff. For your actions and options, you have the Judgment card. So this week, for those of you that are psychically skilled, you may very well be getting messages from beyond the grave. This could be a loved one, or you know, somebody that you've been linked to in the past that has passed over. It comes to you in a dream. Maybe they come to you in a vision of some sort. Maybe you hear something that reminds you of that person and it really echoes. The reason I say this is because this combination literally spells out mediumship. There are others as well, but this pairing for me is definitely, among other things, it's definitely mediumship. So if you know a medium, or you've been hovering over that kind of book button to book in with a medium of some sort, this would be a really powerful week to do so, because the chances are you will get messages that have either been waiting to come through for you or will make all the difference going forward. The other thing is as well, did you know that with this pairing, although it can speak to physical death, it always says that when this combination comes up, it actually means when death is assured, it's not for a long time to come. So rest assured, you are healthy, happy, and you're going to be fine. All right. What is the Temperance card? The Judgment card also represents a big transformation. This is going to be a powerful week of change for you. And I always say, like, when you have your full moon, every sign has one full moon and one new moon each year. Your new moon is a time for you to start something. This is where you get a grand sort of reset button push. And the full moon is a time of wishes. So don't forget, when it comes to the 28th of this month, the 28th of this week, make a wish. You get one wish to wish with all your heart. What is it going to be? For your communications and conversations, you've got the Magician card, right? This is very powerful. For those of you that are interested in the psychical, the spiritual, etc., this would be a really good week to delve into that kind of thing. It would also be a really good week for you to look into finally saying the things that you need to say, right? Or whether this is writing a book, writing a blog. For some of you, it feels like it might be a bit of an expose, you know, which is definitely possible. The fact that you have the Magician card in your communication sector, though, this week, you are able to communicate from a place of power. You are able to speak your truth, to speak openly. And it looks like whatever you are communicating this week, it's going to finish something. Like, you know, sometimes like that thing where you've waited so long to say what it is that you have to say. And then when you get your moment, you come in, you say what you got to say. No swearing, no effing and blinding, just boom. These are the facts, mic drop. Peace, bitches. Do you know what I mean? It could literally be like that. Like you go in, you say what you got to say, you stick to the facts, and it just decimates any thoughts or ill will or whatever, you know, that might have been there, that anybody could have, you know, brought up against you if they wanted to. Now, when it comes to those of you that work for yourselves, okay, I've started there. There's obviously a reason. When it comes to those of you that have started work for yourselves, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, etc., this is you heading off in a very new direction. And I will say this, it could be that an idea comes to you this week, maybe fully formed. It could be an idea that comes through a spirit guide. It could be an idea that comes through a loved one that has passed on. Like this week, you're going to get some sort of information that will probably come really suddenly, and you might be like, what the hell am I going to do with this? I'll give you an example from something that happened to me in 2019, at the end of 2019 coming into 2020. I suddenly have this huge idea, and it's massive. It's still going, because every time I think about it, I'm like, I don't really know what to do with this. Like, it's just huge. And this could be one of those things. It's going to take you time to build this thing, but you could be making progress towards it nonetheless. For those of you that work for for somebody else, this suggests to me that this week, the job that you do or the arena that you work in, something about the career is coming up for a rewrite this week. And you may very well decide to change industries, to change employee. It's like there's a big shift or coming in that area for you, and it's going to start with that. For those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, this is really you figuring out how powerful you are, regardless of whether you have a job or you're, you know, a functioning member of society, like whatever the hell that means. Sorry, I heard that once and it really offended me. I was like, so what? People that don't have jobs or are retired are not functioning members of society? Like, you and the horse that you rode in on, man. But yeah, this is about you figuring out what you're here to do next, right? Now that all of that is over, now that you have time, this is taking that time to figure out what is the next thing that I'm going to bring to the world, what is the next thing that I'm going to give to the world, or that I'm going to be known for. And because it is the Magician card, this has all the potential to blow and to be huge. So, you know, give it credence. For your money and materials, you've got the Seven of Swords. Watch your money this week, especially if you're considering making a big purchase. If you are buying any sort of course, if you're buying into a course or anything like that, before you commit to it, just be sure that that money is definitely going to take you, just be sure that the content that you're going to be receiving is going to do the job that it says on the tin. Now, I'm not saying that this person is actively deceiving you. It may be that their understanding of what you need or what you want is different. All right. So it's really important, if you're investing big sums of money in an institution, in a course, in a coaching program, in anything like that, if you're investing that kind of money this week, be very, very clear on what your expectations are, and also on what somebody else's expectations are. You know, really drill down and clarify that stuff this week. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your nervous system. I'm lying. This is going to be your kidney, all of the areas actually that are ruled by no, I'm lying again. Sorry, I'm having a real mind blank today. This is going to be your hands, your arms, your fingers, your general sort of upper body area, and even your upper airways. Not so much the throat, but the airways in that space. So just look after those this week, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of talking. That's going to be really important. And then for your home and environment, because you've got the cards here, it's the Judgment card and the Death card that makes me think, if you're going away this week at any point, I would, if you can, get somebody to watch the house. You know, just get somebody to come and stay there while you're going away, if that is the case. If that's not possible and it's not practical, then just make sure that double check that everything is locked. Your Seven of Swords can literally be things like theft, but because of the way that the cards have come out, I feel like it would be more like an opportunist thing rather than like someone sitting and scoping you out. All right. So for your love and relations, you have the Moon card. So this is really, in a lot of ways, this is you starting to reveal what your wants, needs and desires are when it comes to relationships. But more importantly, that Moon card, especially because it's underneath the Magician card. This is about you being in a space where you're making yourself vulnerable to a partner or a potential partner, and you're speaking the things that you truly want. It's like, this is what my long-term goals are, this is what my plans are, I want you to be a part of that. How do you feel about it? There's some really open, honest communication coming through here, which is wonderful. If you are newly in a couple, or newly seeing somebody or wanting to see somebody, this is not yet. This is not the time to mix business with pleasure. This is not the time to mix your finances, not yet. That time will come, but just be aware of that. And especially just because now the moon card shows up. If you're going away, please just lock up your home, double lock it, you know, check it, and get somebody to come in and check on the place, you know, while you're away. Again, if it's not possible, it's not possible, but just do whatever you can to fortify your home. When it comes to those of you that are single, I think on the same level, this will be you really figuring out what it is that you actually want and need from relationships, and being really honest about that with yourself. Like, in a lot of ways, this is you guys delving into your fears, right? So all Libras in some way, shape or form are looking at their fears and saying, right, where am I afraid when it comes to love? Where is it that my fear maybe gets the best of me when it comes to relationships? There's a lot of honesty and openness here, and a lot of connection. And the fact that you've got the Death card, this I feel is like, it's kind of like the end of the crap in relationships that you might have experienced. So your full moon message from the Human Design Oracle cards is the Gate 60 and limitations, right? This is you becoming aware. This week you are going to become aware of what the limitations are, where they are coming from, whether they are internal and personal or whether they are external and impersonal. This is you really getting a good handle on what stands in your way of getting where it is that you would like to be. And I think that openness and that honesty is really going to help you in a lot of ways. This is actually, you know, even with the heavier cards, this actually looks to me like a pretty decent week, because it looks like you're getting to the bottom of everything and being really, really clear about what your focus is from here on in. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.